Our next speaker would like to talk to you all about the essence of leadership. She is none other than one of the youngest entrepreneurs in the hospitality industry. She thought law was her calling, however, she switched her career to hospitality within a week's time and then flew to Switzerland to study hospitality and international business from one of the most reputed institutes. Being an entrepreneur at such a young age with Love 15 pastry, house to some of the most delicious and sought after delicacies ranging from macarons to cupcakes to pastries to tarts and cakes, she is none other than Miss Pooja Dhingra. Can we please have her on stage with a huge round of applause? And may I request Ms. Dhingra to kindly share her experience and success stories with you all.
Hi everybody. Can you all hear me? Yes. That is a very tough act to follow. This wasn't supposed to happen this way. Y'all are going to be pretty disappointed with my talk. No. So guys, hi. My name is Pooja, and I am here to talk to you about entrepreneurship and leadership in the industry. I won't be singing as much, though the last time I was on this stage was for a dance competition. Okay. So to begin with, I'm not really too fond of PowerPoint presentations. I don't think I made one since I left college. So my intern has helped me prepare this, so kind of just roll with it, okay? So just briefly, I thought, what can I do? I should start with telling you a little bit about myself and my experiences. My story is very simple. I'm from Bombay. When I was 17, I decided, okay, I thought maybe I should do law. I should really stop watching TV shows that kind of pushed me that way. I went to law school for 2 weeks, 1 week longer than what she said. And then when I was there, I realized that this life wasn't for me. I didn't see myself being around those books for the next 5 years. And the dream was always to kind of have a restaurant and cafe while I was growing up. So I decided to move to Switzerland. I had no idea what I was in for. I went and did hospitality and international business management. And it was in Switzerland that I realized, because we worked through departments. And when I was in the pastry kitchen, I thought, this is it. I've always loved baking. I've always loved being in the kitchen. And, I said, okay, I should go and study this further. My degree didn't really have any culinary experience. So I decided to move to Paris. And I was there for 1 year, one of probably the best year of my life, studying pastry, and then I followed that with the internship. Okay? So while I was in Paris, I realized that I went to many pastry shops, and I kind of wondered, why have I never seen this in Bombay? I would walk into a store and see all these different beautiful color. I asked my friend, I was like, what is this? And she said, that's a macaroon. I said, okay, why haven't I ever seen this before? Is it because it's tough to make? Is it because the ingredients are not available? Or people will not like it? And I just realized that no one has just done it before. So I said, if you can see how beautiful that I tried one, and it looks like a little mini burger the first time I saw it. And I was like, okay, what is this? And I tasted a passion fruit one, and it was just such a revelation. And I said, okay, when I move back to India, I must try and set up a macaroon shop. Sounds simple, right? So, the question of entrepreneurship, I'm sure you guys are at a stage where you have many ideas, and you see, India's kind of booming now, and you see different things coming up, whether it's tech, whether it's food, whether it's marrying tech and food. So you are at the stage where you're asking yourself, I should start a business. Let's just open a restaurant. Let's just open a cafe. I think very important to ask yourself 2 important questions when you're at this stage is, why do you want to do it? And how are you going to get there? Okay? So, why do you want to do it? First thing I'm going to say, yeah, money, right? I want to do it because I want to earn money. While money is great, and that's the reason why we all are here, and it's great to make some money, I personally believe that shouldn't be your primary, your motivator to get into a business. I just feel that if you're only concerned about money, the approach that you take, the decisions that you make to start your business will not always be ideal. Okay, so you have to ask yourself why you're doing it. Is it to be your own boss? I know you're in college and it's great and you're doing an internship and you're like, man, I just want to start my own business. I want to be my own boss. And I've done this for the last 6 years, not easy. I have to be at work at 6 in the morning before my team comes in. The first 3 years of Love 15, I left work at 10 p.m. every night. I missed out on friends' birthdays, marriages, anniversaries. I lost all my school friends. Tired just became a part of my personality. Everyone asked me, how are you? First answer was just tired. And, so while you think that, yeah, it's going to be great to be your own boss, you do realize that hard work it's just going to be harder for you. There's no switching off. You're there 24/7, this is your baby, you're constantly thinking about it. So it's not really, oh, I'll just take a vacation, it's 4 o'clock, I'll go home, I don't want to come in on Sunday. It doesn't really work like that, okay? And also at times we want to find our identity. We're like, okay, I want to add some meaning to my life. What am I doing? If I create this business, it will give me this sort of view. And so these are all the different reasons, okay? And how do you get there? So for me, when I moved back, it was very simple. I sort of just started baking from home. I used, what was available to me. I started baking from home, started, experimenting, going through all those things, giving people samples and asking them, do you like these macarons? Started off just in a mall in Andheri 6 years ago, and I just started handing out free macarons and asking people, what do you think about this? Do you like it? And once I saw what people's actual, what they thought about it, I was like, okay, this can be a great market. So I kind of used that and started that. When you're creating any business, it's very important to have value, right? Your customers should get something that they don't get anywhere else. So when you're starting a restaurant or a cafe or any business that you want to, you have to understand what your customer wants, okay? Are you creating a niche? Is there something like this already in the market? What is it that you can do better? And very important to build relationships. This I learned very young. When I started, I was 23, and I would sit for hours with my suppliers. I would sit with my printer. I would sit with, everyone. It's just, I think the business is so much about building relationships, and that's very important. And of course, hard work, right? Nothing really goes without it. So challenges, my intern made that, yes. Starting a food business in India is definitely not the easiest. When I started 6 years ago, the challenges that I faced are different from the challenges that I face today, but I continue to face them every single day. When I started, I was 23 years old, and I wanted, when you're trying to make it as a woman in a male-dominated industry with not that much money, you don't have people who will take you so seriously, so it was very challenging then, with the laws, with the licenses. Every day was a different, I would call landlords to rent property. I wanted to buy heavy machinery, and everyone would be like, she's a young child, what does she know? That changed to today's, where I am 6 years later, where my challenges are, okay, I want to grow my business, I want to expand, I want to go to different cities. So then how do I focus on quality? How do I still do what I love doing with passion without compromising on the product? So there will always be challenges that you face. You just have to, find out what your priorities are. Oh, sorry. And as there are challenges, there are also rewards of having your own businesses, okay? So I've kind of been lucky. I've had the opportunity to have my dreams come true. The idea was, if you see on that diagram, it's a sketch I used to just draw when I was in school. I used to sit in class. Maybe I should have been listening to the teacher, but I used to just sit in class and I used to draw out what I would want my cafe to be like one day. I could visualize it. I could see how it would look. I would picture everything. And then, when the time was right, I took this drawing and I went to an architect and I said, I'd like to make this. And just to see your thoughts become reality. There's nothing more that can give you more joy from your work when you see something that you've really wanted to do and see it come alive. I was also on the Forbes India 30 Under 30 list last year as representing the food industry. So, I happened to write a book. I don't know if you guys have read it or bought it. Yes? Come on, guys. Okay? It's half off on Flipkart now. You must get it today. So I managed to write a book. I always wanted to, I always think of opportunity. And I always tell there was this, I would tell my mother, I want to write a book, I want to write a book, I want to write a book. And she said, just put it out in the universe. So I went and I put it out in our universe, Facebook. I went to and updated my status update saying, I would like to write a book, dear universe, please help me. In 2 minutes, I kid you not, my friend who was at that point editor at Elle magazine sends me a message and says, Pooja, I've quit my job today. I'm joining Penguin in 2 months. I promise you, yours is going to be the first book I commission. And 2 months later, she calls me, and just like that, at 26, I had my first book deal with Penguin. And the book just won second place at the World Cookbook Gourmet Awards in pastry. We beat Germany and Japan, and amazing. And yeah, so it's all been a learning experience. What I want to stand here and tell you is that don't be afraid, right? I know my brother does this. He's often afraid to even start something because he thinks he's going to fail, right? So he's always restricting himself. I'll say, I just jump into things and then I figure things along the way. So if I feel like let's try a new menu or let's do something else, if I feel like doing something, and I feel it in my gut, I will follow it. Yes, things go wrong. Yes, failure always happens. But you end up learning more from the failure, and that helps you grow your business much more than you will from all the positive and on all your accomplishments. So failure will happen, but failure is good. We should try and learn from it. My worst experience ever in my life was when I was 18, and I was an intern in a small family hotel in Switzerland. And it was the worst experience of my life. I would cry at work every single day. I was alone handling, service for almost 100 people, breakfast, doing everything in heels. My boss hated me. And after 3 months, I just couldn't take it anymore. And I'm the kind of person who gives it my all. And after 3 months, I quit. And then, luckily, 6 months later, I had another internship, which was the complete opposite experience. And I loved it. But today when I start my business and I treat my employees, I learned more from the experience that wasn't good. I know how not to be with my staff. I know how I felt, and it makes me more compassionate. Yeah, so try and learn from every experience and make it your own. Thank you. So there you go. You have amazing opportunities like none other. You have social media for your help. You don't need to spend money on marketing, big budgets. You can start something small. If you're really passionate about it, you have the ability to grow it into something big. There's a lot of money in hospitality now. Everyone is just standing there ready to invest. So if you have an idea and you're really passionate about it, you must follow it. Thank you, guys. Do you have any questions for me? Yeah? All right. Thank you, guys. Oh, sorry. What do I plan on doing next? So next we're opening, so currently Lure 15 has 4 stores in Bombay. We're planning to make that number 7 in the next 3 months. Planning to go to other cities and 2 books on the way. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that inspiration.